Now to the latest in the race for the White House. Both campaigns now hitting the trail with the election now just a little more than 2 months away.
Vice President Harris is heading to Georgia, while former President Trump focuses on the swing states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Vice President Harris and her running mate Tim Walz have agreed to a primetime interview with CNN later this week. And former President Trump's legal troubles are back in the headlines.
KTLA's John Finolio joins us with a closer look at the latest developments. John.
Well, Sharon, Micah, with their conventions behind them, the candidates are in an all-out battle for those critical swing states that will almost certainly determine the outcome of the election. And former President Trump is reacting tonight to an updated superseding indictment. The charges are the same as before, that he engaged in a conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Tonight, special counsel Jack Smith filing a new indictment in the January 6th election interference case against former President Donald Trump. Like the old charges, the updated superseding indictment alleges Trump engaged in a conspiracy to hold on to power after the 2020 election. The 36-page indictment is shorter than the first and comes after the Supreme Court ruling that presidents have broad immunity for official acts. Smith now prosecuting Trump for his role as a candidate, not as president, charging him with the same 4 crimes, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S., conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Trump, who pleaded not guilty to the charges and has denied any wrongdoing, reacting to the new indictment in a barrage of posts on his social media site, calling the new charges the, quote, persecution of a political opponent.
Young people cannot afford to buy a home in their own country.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, in battleground Michigan, slamming VP Harris for the nation's economic troubles.
A record number of Americans are working multiple jobs. The housing market is as unaffordable as it has ever been. And the average new car costs nearly $50,000.
The Harris campaign releasing a new ad on combating America's housing crisis, highlighting a proposal to add 3 million new homes to the market.
Right now, it is out of reach for far too many American families.
All this as polls show a tightening race. According to a new election forecast model from the Hill.com Decision Desk HQ, Kamala Harris has a 55% chance of winning the election compared to 45% for Trump. The forecast says Harris is now leading Trump in all 3 blue wall states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, while Trump has a slight advantage in swing states Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. The analysis is also predicting Harris would beat Trump and win the election by 276 to 262 electoral votes. Tomorrow, Harris and her running mate Tim Walz will begin a bus tour through Georgia, another critical swing state. Trump and Vance will both hold rallies in Pennsylvania this week. A debate between Harris and Trump is set for September 10th, but there is still a dispute over whether the microphones should be muted or not. The election less than 70 days away. Back to you.